History remembers many great warriors, but very few are as respected and admired as Khalid ibn al-Walid, known as the Sword of Allah. He is a true legend in Islamic history. He was a brilliant military leader, and his bravery was unmatched. He led the early Muslim armies to many victories. But Khalid was more than just a military commander. His life teaches us about faith, loyalty, and fighting for what's right. His story shows us the power of believing in God and how strong we can be when we follow his plan. Khalid was born into the powerful Banu Makhzum clan in Mecca. Back then, honor and being a warrior were very important. Even as a young boy, Khalid was a natural fighter. He learned to ride horses, fight with swords, and plan battles. He was unbeatable in battle, and people both respected and feared him. But then, a new religion called Islam arrived, and it changed everything. At first, Khalid ibn al-Walid fought against the Muslims. He was against them in the Battle of Uhud, a difficult battle that tested the Muslims' faith. But Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, saw something special in Khalid. He knew Khalid could be a great man, someone who loved truth and fairness. In time, Khalid was touched by Islam's message. He believed in its teachings and in Prophet Muhammad's character. His conversion to Islam was a very important moment in history. The Battle of Mu'tah was a very important moment for Khalid ibn al-Walid. It was a huge test of his leadership and fighting skills. The Muslims were outnumbered by the powerful Byzantine army. But even though there were fewer Muslims, they were full of courage. They were ready to fight to the death to protect their faith and their people. When the Muslim commanders died in battle, Khalid had to lead. It was a dangerous time, but Khalid was brave and accepted the challenge. He quickly figured out what to do and inspired his troops with a new plan. He was incredibly skilled, and he reorganized the Muslim army, giving them a new sense of purpose and energy. Khalid made his soldiers believe they could win, no matter how bad things seemed. He cleverly moved the Muslim army back, making sure that not too many Muslims were killed. Khalid's plan helped his troops escape the enemy. It showed how smart and what a good leader he was. His decisions saved the Muslim army from being destroyed and showed everyone how talented he was in battle. This victory made Khalid ibn al-Walid famous in history as a brilliant strategist and leader. He was so brave, and he set an example for many people after him. Part 5. The Sword of Allah. After the Battle of Mu'tah, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, gave Khalid ibn al-Walid the title Saifullah, the Sword of Allah. It showed how amazing he was in battle and how dedicated he was to Islam. This title wasn't just a name, it showed how important Khalid was in protecting and spreading Islam. He became a symbol of hope for Muslims, and his enemies were terrified of him. Part 6. Yarmouk, a decisive victory. The Battle of Yarmouk, which happened in 636 AD, is one of the most important battles in Islamic history. The Battle of Yarmouk shows us how brilliant Khalid ibn al-Walid was in battle and how strong the faith of the early Muslims was. This battle was between the Muslim army and the Byzantine Empire, and the Muslims winning was very important for Islam to spread. Khalid, now a very experienced commander, led the Muslim forces against a much bigger Byzantine army. The Byzantine army was huge, but Khalid's plan and leadership kept the Muslim army organized and focused. He used new ways of fighting, using the land and the enemy's weaknesses to his advantage. Khalid saw the Byzantine army's vulnerabilities and used them to help the Muslim forces. The Muslim army was smaller, but they fought with incredible courage and discipline because of their faith and their leader. Their discipline and bravery helped them stand strong against the mighty Byzantine army. The Muslims won a decisive victory at the Battle of Yarmouk, which was a turning point in early Islamic history. This victory helped the Islamic Empire grow and become very powerful. The Battle of Yarmouk proved that even when you're not as strong, faith and a good strategy can help you win. Part 7. A life of service and sacrifice. Khalid ibn al-Walid spent his life serving Islam, leading the Muslim armies to many victories across Arabia and beyond. He conquered many lands, not because he wanted power or fame, but to share the message of peace and justice. He treated the people he conquered with respect and fairness, and they admired him for it. Even though he won many victories, Khalid stayed humble and devoted to God. He never wanted power or fame for himself, believing that Allah guided him to every victory. Khalid ibn al-Walid's life wasn't just about battles and conquests. He also did a lot for the people in his society. He believed in the importance of education and knowledge. Many schools and libraries were built when he was the leader. Khalid made many changes to improve the lives of the people. He made sure everyone was treated fairly. When he was the leader, people felt united and cared for each other. Khalid always put his people first. His religious beliefs were part of everything he did. Khalid always followed religious principles. His humility and dedication made him a great leader and an even better person. Khalid ibn al-Walid's life teaches us that true greatness comes from serving others and making sacrifices. His story inspires us to serve others, make sacrifices, and try to make the world a better place. Part 8. The Legacy of the Unconquered. Khalid ibn al-Walid died a winner on the battlefield. His name will always be remembered in history. He is remembered for being a brilliant military leader, for his strong faith, and for always fighting for what's right. His life is an inspiration to Muslims, reminding them of the power of faith, bravery, and dedication. Even today, people are proud of him and respect him. He is remembered for dedicating his life to a greater purpose. Part 9. Eternal Lessons from a Timeless Warrior. Khalid ibn al-Walid's life teaches us many things. He teaches us to be brave when things are tough and to always stick to what we believe in, even when it's hard. He shows us the power of being humble and how true strength comes from surrendering to God. His military strategies remind us that we need knowledge and a plan to achieve our goals. Part 10. Remembering the Heroes of Islam. It's important to remember people like Khalid ibn al-Walid, not just because they were important in history, but because they show us what humans are capable of. Their stories inspire us to be the best we can be, to stand up for what we believe in, and to dedicate ourselves to something bigger than ourselves. By learning from their lives, we can create a better future for ourselves and for the children who come after us.